So we are back for third episode of F122 MyTeam Career Mode. This is after our first race win in Jeddah. So if you guys haven't watched the second episode of our MyTeam series, well, you guys could click on the card to the upper right, which should lead you back to our second episode. If you have, feel free to stay and tune in. So after our win in Jeddah, we are now headed to the Australian GP. But we have, as you guys can see in the calendar, we have a bunch of upgrades lined up for our car, which should definitely help us in our race in Australia. We know that our win in Jeddah was a one-off. I doubt we'll replicate that kind of drive here in Australia. But, of course, it doesn't hurt to try. But now, let's go to our qualifying run in Australia this week. So we are in Q1 on our third run of Q1. We are currently P11, but we are making a bunch of time by kind of cutting corners here and there, and we are definitely having a better run than our first two laps. So hopefully this should put us up at a more comfortable position, because I know if I'm at P11 and I call it there, I am screwed. I'm gonna get pushed down. So I want to get at least within the top 10 to be somewhat comfortable. And I swear, if we still get pushed down, if we are in the top 10, I'm just gonna flip a table right here. But as we head to the start-finish straight, we are in P8, only 1/10 behind Hamilton, almost 2/10 behind Hamilton. I will take that, and hopefully we make it to Q2. And here we are. We just missed Q3, and we start at 11th. We got pushed all the way down to 11th in Q2. Oh, that's a bummer. But hey, we tried to push our car as much as we can. We just couldn't find the setup. We couldn't just find the pace in this track. It's only our third race of the year. We can't have the car at a good pace yet, but we shall see how it will end up in the race. So here we are at the start of the race. We have 5 lights, and it is out. And we have a super slow start. We are dropping down in position. We lost 3, make that 4. 4? We lost 4 positions. We're gonna try to make it up by a cheeky dive on the outside of turn 1. But that did not work out for us. And we lost 3 positions. What in the world is going on? And now we're just going to try to play a catch-up a bit here on F1 as we try to get to the new turns of this track. This track made some changes, as you guys can see, because this doesn't look the same as what the track we had last year. As we make our way into turn 9 and 10, these 2 turns right here are my most hated turns in this track. I just can't get my bearings on it. I've seen how other people drive and try to dive inside Gasly in turn 11, which is now a right-hand turn, and we actually make that work. And now it's time to kind of drive to more potential right here. Australia is not one of the best map tracks I could actually drive in, but we can't be picky. We have to drive to the best of our ability and see. Oh, the 2 has have a bit of contact right there. As you see, Magnussen and Schumacher in front of us are just going at it, and Magnussen almost hit the back of Schumacher's car as we just try to avoid any contact with Magnussen or Schumacher, as we kind of got boxed in there. heading into turn 3, but now we are into turn 7 and 8. Turn 8 being one of the longest turns that they changed in the Australian GP map. But let's see if we could manage to overtake Magnus and go on the inside. So he had in turn 9, kind of squeeze him a bit on the outside and brake a bit late, kind of cut the turn a bit in turn 10. As we try to hopefully catch up Schumacher, who's in P11, which was our starting position at the start of the race until we had that really slow takeoff at the start of the race. But now we are heading back to the start-finish straight, starting lap number 3, so hopefully we can see some DRS action when it is activated. But we won't see it until turn 10? Yeah, the DRS straight after turn 10. Because the DRS straight for 1 to the start finish straight and the DRS straight in between turns 2 and 3 all has just one DRS detection zone. So we won't see any overtakes after turn 2, but at lap 4, that's when we'll see those DRS overtakes. But we are kind of like hanging behind Schumacher, trying to get some slipstream, maybe pass him on this corner. But we decided not to push it and just stay behind Schumacher. Turn on our DRS right here, see if we could make a move on Schumacher. We go a bit on the outside of turn 11, kind of push him off a bit, and we have a better takeoff at turn 11. And now we got our original place back. Now it's just time to hang on into this place and maybe hopefully try to catch up with the rest of the top 10 cars. But right now we can see there's a couple of DRS trains that are forming. One behind Alonso right here at P7, which kind of involves us a bit as we're kind of catching up to this train. And then you have the DRS train of, I guess, the top of the pack at this point, because we see Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Russell's there in P4 and Perez in P5. It's just like, I could just see it's just DRS train. This is literally like in real life where we just have DRS. We had a bunch of DRS trains in Australia, in the actual Australian GP. Well, look at this. Are we gonna do a cheeky move? Oh, we did do a cheeky move outside though. I don't even know what turn that is, but we overtook outside of Norris. We had a bit of, I bet we used a bunch of ERS right there just to kind of stick the move on the outside in turn, what was that, 8? Heading to turn 9? That was, I sense a lot of ERS use in that, because I don't think we would, with the pace of our car in this track, I bet we just barely made that move on the outside. And oh, we kind of broke a bit late, maybe trying to pull on a dive on Esteban Ocon, but fortunately it didn't work out, because I feel like if he made that stick, I don't know if he ever made it, like just a big if that stuck, I think we would have probably lost the front wing, or at least a part of it. Yes, here we go. We have just a DRS train right here. So our first DRS train is the top group, and then you have kind of like the midfield right here, and then you have a DRS train of like the lower midfield behind Ricardo, because we have our teammate Piastri, who's doing a decent job holding at P16. But hey, let's not shit on Piastri, because we know that he's still developing as a driver as well. You know, this is probably his first F1 chance, so let's not judge him yet. let's give him some time to mature in the car, and hopefully, you know, we see him kind of, develop and grow as a driver in our car. But here we go. The top groups are starting to pit, as you see. Hamilton, Alonso, Schumacher, Bottas pit, and we move up. We actually overtook Esteban Ocon. Damn, we actually missed that. But hey, it's just been a DRS train kind of track. There is really nothing going on, but we have 8 seconds of fresh air in front of us, which actually helps us in a sense that we have all this fresh air. Our car can go faster. We don't have to worry about anyone behind us, because as you see, Esteban Ocon is like 1.7, almost 1.8 seconds behind us. So I think we are good. We are definitely good. So we're gonna go on, push our soft tires a bit more. As we go through these turns, especially the slow turns, I kind of feel the grip really just not being there anymore. Now we're pushing the car, and we're pushing ourselves as a driver to keep this together, make this overcutting strategy work, because we were supposed to pit a lap or two ago. But we are definitely overcutting this, definitely trying to get this strategy to work to hopefully get and stay at a certain position. Because we were like P7 earlier. So maybe we could make up a P7, P8. And hopefully we can make up at least a spot or two with this strategy. We're rolling the dice. So we won't know how well this is going to work, because the rest of the group, like Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, is like 7 seconds behind us. So that's going to be a gamble. Oh, we almost hit the wall right there, but thank the AI that it didn't crash. And see, there you go. Even Perez decided to overcut and is now leaving the pit lane outside of everyone, and we fall back to P6. We actually gained the position. Oh, god dang it, never mind. We ended up at P7, but hey, we are a couple of seconds now ahead of Fernando Alonso. Hey, that is breathing space we need, and we have younger, fresher tires compared to Lewis Hamilton, like at least 3 laps of fresher tires, 2 to 3 laps, because Hamilton pitted really early, like around, I think lap 5 was when he pitted for some mediums. So our medium tires are definitely much younger. We just need to keep them. We just need to get it warmed up, and then maybe we could charge at Hamilton. Imagine charging at a Mercedes as a backfield car. But hey, we can all hope and dream, can't we? And we literally just carved 1 second off Lewis Hamilton's time. Oh no. Was Lewis Hamilton having some mechanical issues? Because I feel like that might be the case, because we literally shove off 1.5 seconds of time. Like the gap that we had between us and Hamilton, because at the start of lap 8, that was around 3.5 seconds. And now we are at lap 9 into lap 10. We are basically a second closer. So this might be a good sign for us that our tires are working well. I don't think Hamilton should have any tire degradation issues at lap 5 or 6 now. Because yes, the age of his tires is like 5 or 6 laps old, while ours is like 3. So I don't think it might be a tire degradation issue. I feel like Hamilton is dealing with some mechanical issue, because that doesn't explain his slow pace right now. But as we are trying to catch up with him, let's go check out the top 5 right here, because these times are really getting close. Like the Ferraris are really getting close behind of Perez right here as we head into turns 13 and 14. Like those times are close, but Perez seems to have a very good exit at turn 14, because that 1/10 gap that Sainz has is literally jumping to almost half a second by the time they get to the exit of turn 14. It looks like the Ferraris are has a bit slow of a takeoff, or at least Sainz is, because look at that. That is not good. I don't know if Sainz is holding back his teammate and Verstappen, just like how he was doing in Jeddah, but at least there's a bit of a gap where they're not consistently fighting and like giving us a gap. But let us check this out. We are pushing our car. We have our ERS on. We are just drag racing into turns 9 and 10. And we beat out Hamilton. We stuck behind them, right behind the DRS detection zone, and we ourselves have DRS, and we are scot free, I think, unless Hamilton decides to catch up on us on the next DRS straight at the start-finish straight. But we know that Hamilton is having some sort of mechanical issue right now, because we wouldn't be catching him at all. Like literally would not be catching him. But here you go. You see, we went from 0.2 to almost a second gap at the straight. So what is this? We just left Hamilton behind. That like Hamilton, even with the DRS on, he's just not catching up to us. I think Hamilton is either really off pace, or he's having definitely having some issues right now. But I think we lost a bit of the DRS train from the middle of the field, because right now the only DRS train I could see is the top of the pack. You know, the Red Bulls, Ferrari, and George Russell there. But I think George Russell's not part of that DRS train, because look at that time. It's like a second off. Yeah. But you know, you have the top 4 on a DRS train. You could see the middle of the field's not. The DRS trains seem to be gone right now. But the other DRS train I could see is the one forming behind Zhou Guanyu at 17 all the way to the end. Oh, Lewis Hamilton, DNF. Oh, I knew it. He had an engine issue, because look, his car has no damage whatsoever. It was literally just an engine issue. Here we are at the last sector of this Grand Prix. We have Perez, Sainz, and Leclerc as our top 3. And I think that those will be the 3 people that will be in this on the podium, as I don't think the Ferraris can push Perez and could make a last-second dive bomb to go for the lead, which I don't think is most likely, as we're heading into turn 14, into the start-finish straight, and we see Perez, Leclerc, and Sainz finishing the race. As for us, we finish at P6, which is not a bad place to finish. If you ask me, we would have been P7 if I think if Hamilton didn't have any engine issues right there near the end, because we literally caught up on Hamilton from then on forward. But there goes our result as we get P6, our teammate Piastri at P16. There is literally no judgment on Piastri, as he's just trying to do the best as he can with this car, and this is, I feel like, his first opportunity in an F1 car. But this is a good result. We have Perez, Sainz, Leclerc as our top three. Verstappen just missing out on podium, and we have Russell there with a strong finish at P5. And we have ourselves, Alonso, Ocon, Bottas, and Magnussen to round out the top 10, the drivers that finished within the points. This is a good result. Will I feel like moving forward, hopefully we can always expect a top 10 finish. But I think P6 is the max finish we can get, I feel like, consistently, or P7 even. And then that one-off win in Jeddah was just all pure luck. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this third episode of F1 22 MyTeam Career Mode. Expect fourth episode, which is going to be in Imola, be uploaded soon TM. But I just want to thank you guys for watching this video all the way from start to finish, and I will see you all in the next video.